The public version of Clapper's report, which outlines Russia's motives, will be released next week. Some sensitive details will be left out, but Clapper says, Elaine, that he is, quote, pushing the envelope and wants to release as many details as possible because he says that Americans deserve the full picture.
Well, Nancy, based on Thursday's hearing, there seems to be broad bipartisan consensus that Russia was behind this, with the exception of the president-elect. Now, is there a sense that if Mr. Trump continues to push back on intelligence, that Republicans will push him too?
Well, there are some Republicans, and it's a small group, who are pushing him right now. There are others who are not willing to criticize him publicly, but do say that they believe that the Russian government is an enemy of the United States and was behind this hacking. A lot of them, frankly, Elaine, are trying to give Mr. Trump some time to come around to the consensus of the U.S. intelligence community, and they're going to be watching very closely to see what he says after he gets that big intelligence briefing on Friday. They want to see if, after he is told what Clapper and other intelligence officials have determined, once he's told about Russia's multiple motives, as Clapper put it today, whether he has at least a small change of heart.
Well, at Thursday's hearing, Senator John McCain asked Director Clapper if he believed Julian Assange put American lives in danger. He said he did. What position does that put Mr. Trump in as someone who has tweeted out Assange's statements?
Well, I will tell you that that is something that truly shocked lawmakers from both sides when it happened, because they believe that Julian Assange has American blood on his hands. They believe that the very sensitive documents that he has released to the world have made the United States manifestly less safe. This is a view that is shared by a number of Republicans, not to mention Democrats. So the notion to them that Mr. Trump would be siding with Julian Assange in direct contradiction of what he was being told by the U.S. intelligence community was extremely troubling.
Well, Nancy, there's a sense Director Clapper needs to defend his work and his people, and that he's channeling his own frustration through the voices of others. Is there a real sense that this tension has hurt morale?
Right. He was trying to be as diplomatic as possible today. He didn't go into a lot of detail, but he did share that he is getting calls and emails from his counterparts around the world asking essentially what's going on over there. Why doesn't your president-elect believe what you are telling him? And that's something that troubles U.S. allies, because, after all, they share a lot of intelligence with U.S. intelligence agencies. And then Mike Rogers, who heads the NSA, went a step further and said retention is already a big problem in the intelligence community. They don't have a big problem, he said, recruiting smart people, but they do have a problem keeping them because they're just so in demand in the private sector. They've got these very unique skills. So he says that he worries that Trump's comments are going to cause people to walk out the door, that if they don't feel that the information that they're gathering is valued, and sometimes they're gathering that information at the risk of their own lives, then he says that he's worried that people will walk.
All right, Nancy Cordes, thanks so much.
You're welcome.